contact Scopia, tell them to devote all resources necessary to locating the individual.
The researchers recorded eye movements, heart rates, and
Rochdale. I am driving along the edge of Rochdale at 5:30 on a Thursday afternoon because somebody is in desperate need of a set of steel wheels, which I have had to place on the back seat, protecting the car's leather seats and carpet with a big green tarp, which I happen to find in the back of the Land Rover. It's mine, not the Land Rover, but the tarp. I'm keeping it. I always was going to do, because I think I had it before the Land Rover found its way into the yard anyway. Making good use of the space that I have to keep things such as a set of wheels, rather than simply throwing them away. Because at some point, somebody will need them. And again, I come back to this whole idea of saving the parts that other people don't want to save, because they don't see any use in saving them. Although the boot in the Audi A6 is massive, much bigger than necessary to carry 4 steel wheels, it does have a dog in the back. A dog called Wilma. Hello, Wilma. And she's acting like she's not even there. I can't really expect her to share the boot with a set of wheels. It's clearly not a very good time for taking a drive out through a town, 5:30, gridlock, and barely any diesel left in the tank. Oh yeah, there we go, I've got my wallet there. I thought I'd left it at work. I've done worse things. I have quite often left something as important as my wallet, which is always full of cash, just on the workbench. It's not something I do very often, but it makes me think, wouldn't a small van be really good? It doesn't have to be anything that can carry huge loads, just things like wheels, the occasional engine, without having to worry about getting the carpet or the seats all mucky. That's what the trailer for though, isn't it? The only thing is, I've got my trailer, but it requires the car with the tow bar in order to tug it around. And when that car's on the sawn, I can't exactly use it. Plus, the other thing is, getting the trailer out of the lockup and all the faffing around involved in doing that to take some wheels to bury when I could just simply put the tarp down is, there's no comparison, is there? Come on, you know there isn't. It's much easier just to do it this way. Rochdale to Bury. Which way should you go? There are so many different ways you can go. The road network is like following the cracks on a porcelain plate. They all go the same way, but you lose time actually just in decision of your porcelain plate. Do you know the type I mean? It's just a plate or a bowl, but they always end up with these underlying cracks. I love vans. Men love vans. And that's because men are British. Why? What's so good about a van then? Well, it's just so utilitarian, isn't it? I mean, the estate car is the closest you can get to having a van while still having a car, because you can fold the seats down, and something like this has got plenty of enough space in the back to utilise as a van. But because it's still a car, you think of it as a car, you know, a car that you could easily spoil. It's a nice car with carpet, with proper carpet. You don't want to put anything oily or dirty on there. It's kind of, well, it's just disrespectful, isn't it? Bring back the good old common sense roundabout. On a roundabout, you can't jump a red light, can you? On a roundabout, you can't just force your way through because the light's still on green and then block up the exit because you weren't thinking far enough ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, I just didn't even notice you there waiting. I didn't notice that the queue of traffic had come to a halt. I didn't even think that as I went through the gap there and there was nowhere to come out of it, that I'd end up blocking the exit. What are we talking about here? An incident that happened this morning. Very much so. Temporary lights, of course. You notice how roadworks is a term of the past. Whenever there's anything going on with the road being dug up these days, we just say temporary lights instead. And you know why? Well, you might do, but I think it's because roadworks implies that there's some work going on at the side or on the road. Whereas most of the time, there isn't. It's just some lights put up because some work might be happening at some point. We all know that these trip computers that we have in most cars figure out the range you have left from the speed you've been going and how much fuel you're going through at the current time. Even so, when it's in a diesel and it's saying 45 miles, it does make you worry a bit. I'm not taking any more chances. Huh? Oh, balls. Why don't you go to that other pump? You want to go on that side, but there's one available over that other side there. Is there any reason for not doing it? Let's find out. No, there isn't. Right, good. Range anxiety affects diesel drivers as well, you know, because you just don't know how accurate it is. Have you ever run out of petrol or diesel when the gauge tells you you've actually got quite a bit left? I have. And you'd think with one of these trip computers where it gives you information, that the information is reasonably accurate, but not always. Not always. Really good example of this for me was when I had a BMW E39 3-litre diesel and I was on my way to work and suddenly it conked out. Yet on the dashboard it said I had a range of 93 miles and I believed it like a joker that I am. I suppose maybe the implications of running out of electricity are a bit more serious than running out of petrol. Running out of diesel is a bit more tricky, but if you run out of electric and you cannot move and your handbrake goes on, if that's actually a thing, it's what I've heard. Right, electric suddenly all gone out of the battery, handbrake on. That's what I've heard, and I'm sure I've seen something a bit like it. There was once, not so long back, there was a lady stuck on the road outside near where I lived on a main road in a Fiat 500, which was a petrol car, and she just said it's broken down and I can't get the handbrake off. Just like Ford and their wet belt idea, who can that possibly help? You run out of something and your handbrake won't release. Excellent. So now you can't push your car to safety, you can't actually just get it out of the way, you can't bump start it should you need to. You can't do anything. Oh, you can't do anything these days. Nobody will allow you to do it. All of this red tapery and logic gone backwards. They say the world's gone mad. No, the world's gone mad. Worse than that. I would still like a little van. I love little vans. I love big vans as well. In fact, I think it's just anything you can carry stuff around with is just adorable. Or is it? I mean, having a trailer is great, but it's just inconvenient a lot of the time. I was never a fan of the Ford Escort, but an Escort van, oh yes, I like that. What about the Vauxhall Astra? Astra van? Oh yes. Corsa van? Yes. Maestro van? Yes. Oh, Mr. Roverman, you should have yourself a 25 Commerce or an MG little van thing. And that's the one instance where I think, no, I prefer the car. There's something else actually. Minivans are van-derived vans. What are like are car-derived vans. So, such as the Astromax or the Escort van or the Maestro van. They are essentially the same thing, but sometimes extended, sometimes made a bit taller. And they usually, from my mind anyway, makes them better looking, makes them more desirable, and because they are a car-derived van, the same rules apply to driving that van as they do with the car. Whereas the rather unusual circumstances of a van-derived car, such as the Citroen Berlingo, means that you are stuck with the rules of driving a van. In other words, you can't do 70 miles per hour on a dual carriageway. Just a small thing, my range was 45 miles. I put £10 worth of diesel in because that's all I had, and now the range is 155 miles, telling me that on £10 worth of diesel I can do 110 miles. Is that true? Of course it bloody isn't. I've just seen a billboard that's so confusing, I don't understand what the message was. It was like these these kind of blue puppet things with a hairdryer, and it said on it, taking care of out things. Out. So I can't begin to explain to anyone what that might even mean. Taking care of out things on a billboard. Blue puppets, hairdryer. Let me try and think of something that might do exactly the same thing. You've got a cheesecake and an antelope looking the opposite direction, and the slogan is, be proud to be British. Be honest now, are you one of those people? I'm not going to make it easy and tell you what kind of people I'm talking about, but are you one of those people? Are you one of those people that you know that somebody finds annoying for a particular thing, and you kind of have to, either you have to hide this particular personality trait of yours to mix and be coercive with people, because if you just be yourself, then they'll discover that you're one of those kind of people that they are complaining about to you. 10 signs that show that your driving is a lot worse than you dare admit to. Oh, no, I'll save that for another time. But it's just one of those videos that don't really go anywhere, they don't need to do. It's just me waffling on a little bit as I drive onto a job. Sometimes there are some things in there that I like, other times there aren't. The fact is, I don't know what's going to happen until I do it. Oh, I know. How about time for a little rant? Here we have two lanes, one going one way, the other going another. So I can't filter into this that easily, because you've got to be in this lane to start with. But up ahead, we will see a dual carriageway. At that point, there's nothing wrong with filtering in. However, this section of road is going to be dug up absolutely loads, because of Roadworks start here for 20 weeks. Now you see that man there? It's his fault, and all of the other people just like him that will not use one of the 3 subways that are underneath this patch of road. And why won't they use it? Because I wouldn't want to go down there, because it stinks. Instead, I think I'll just take my chances on the 40 mile per hour dual carriageway instead. Oh, I won't do it alone. Oh, no, that's far too brave. Nope, I'm going to risk life and limb with my dog. Or a pushchair and the contents of the pushchair, just in case the subway smells of wee, or the subway has been taken over by dodgy people. the kind of dodgy people that are allowed to take over because there's no safety in numbers, because people won't use the subway. And because of that, 20 weeks worth of roadworks will happen, 20 weeks worth of delays for the lovely people of this area, so they can build a crossing and turn it from a dual carriageway into a single track 30 limit at your convenience. In a town where the traffic is getting worse and worse all of the time, this is what's going to happen. How about another huge delay to add to your motoring joy? Well, I don't come along this way very often because I don't really need to do, but lots of other people do, and these people all live here and all will just cross over the road when it's busy just to save going in a subway. And of course, Rochdale Council, like any other council, they want to spend vast amounts of money on vanity projects just to be seen to be doing something useful with your council tax. And that's it. Something useful. This bright idea. And that takes me on to one of my next videos. The Castleton Cycle Lane. Oh, back to my original point about wanting a van and how much I would enjoy having a little van. Well, this car's boot is about the same size as a little van's boot. It's a huge boot, but I've got a dog in there. And if I had a little van, I'd have the dog in there, wouldn't I? So what difference does it really make? Yeah, get on with it. Yeah,